In the past week, Montana has reported 148 new cases of COVID-19, the second highest weekly count since the coronavirus pandemic began. That came after 6 weeks of extremely low counts and the start of reopening the state's economy. Governor Bullock and top state health officials say the surge is not entirely unexpected, but it has also framed how Montanans can slow it down. MTN's Mike Dennison has more.
At a Capitol News conference Wednesday, Jim Murphy, the head of the State Communicable Disease Control and Prevention Bureau, said the main factors are more contact among people, in groups or at work, as the economy reopened, and more available testing. For example, an outbreak occurred among healthcare workers in Missoula that was traced to cases in Helena and maybe elsewhere.
It shows how contagious this virus is and how even in a workplace setting, not social distancing or not using PPE all the time can lead to a pretty quick outbreak.
In Miles City, where cases jumped dramatically this month, health department tracers identified several group gatherings where infections occurred and that had spread to 4 other counties.
So if you liken it to like a wildfire, right, you have a spark that's going into another county and setting off another potential cluster of cases.
In the last week, new cases have been reported in 24 Montana counties, including some that previously had no cases. 29 of those cases were in Bighorn County, home to the Crow Indian Reservation, where Anderson says many people tested had shown no symptoms of the disease, but likely were still spreading it. The contact tracing identifies who had contact with those infected, tests them, and directs them to quarantine, or if they have the disease, isolate until they recover. Chief State Medical Officer Greg Holtzman says the virus can survive outside a warm body, so if the transmission can be stopped, so can the disease. He says that's why it's vitally important for people to continue with social distancing and take precautions like wearing masks when they can't distance.
We don't want to go backwards. We want people to feel safe. We want people to be safe. And we want schools to reopen in the fall. And yes, there are some inconveniences, and we are all going to have to deal with that. But those are so minor when we consider the alternatives. We cannot do this alone. I cannot stress that enough. We cannot do this alone. We might disagree on everything else, but we are all in this together.
Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
Montana still has one of the lowest infection rates in the nation, even though its reported cases overall just jumped by 30% in the last 9 days.